Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Olamide Ajayi. I want to appreciate my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. And if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to my channel. Let's go right into this topic. Yeah, I have someone today, someone very special. Her name is Temi Ogunsanya. And I am really happy to be, discussing this with Temi. Temi is someone that I respect so much, and to have this discussion with her. Temi, you are welcome.
Thank you for having me on your channel, and I call her Sister Olamide. So that's how you hear me refer to her. Thank you for having me on your channel, and your respect for me is not as much as my respect for you. So let's just put that out there.
Today we are going to be discussing about making a meaningful experience out of your college years. For a lot of experience I had when I was in college, I really thank God for them, like positive experience. But there are stage in my life I used to thank God for some experience I'm exposed to, and I actually wish I had done better. I actually wish I have done better. I actually wish I have. And if you look at great women and great men of God today, you know that some of them started right from the college. So it is very important to make good use of your college years. What are the things how can you make a meaningful impact while in college? How can you make the very good use of your college days? Let's start from there.
Okay, before I start, disclaimer, I'm going to be speaking as a Christian college student.
Of course.
Yes, because that's my only experience.
Of course.
And everything. Yes, starting from the question about pressures in college, there are definitely pressures you experience. I think one that we both mentioned was the social scene. UGA in particular, the school where I'm at right now, that I'm about to
UGA means University of Georgia.
Yes, the University
She's
of
present
Georgia.
at the University of Georgia. For me, I attended my college in Nigeria, my undergrad in Nigeria, so which is Obafemi Awolowo University. So
Great effect.
yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, great effect. So we are going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing my experience in Nigeria, and she's going to be sharing her experience in UGA, University of Georgia. So
yes. So like I was saying,
okay,
UGA has a reputation of being a party school.
Okay.
So there's that. There's the pressure of you just spend all your nights in your dorm room, everything, every Saturday night while I'm getting ready, laying out my dresses for church.
Okay.
I'm hearing my roommates planning with their friends to go downtown.
I know, right?
Yes, and everything. So there's that. Of course, there's also pressures of different social circles that you might find yourself in.
Okay.
And when you come in as a Christian student, born and raised in Nigeria, that's another peculiar part of my experience, I would say. There are certain, what's the word now, cultures that you'll be exposed to here.
Like values?
Yes, values. That's the word. Values and everything. And you're like, okay, maybe I don't need to do too much. As a Christian, maybe I don't need to do too much. As there's some cultural values we have as Nigerians also, and all of that. And you're like, maybe it doesn't matter as much. So there are pressures like that. And to be more specific, I think right now I'm thinking of, there's a classroom culture, right? In the US, it's not as strict as it is in Nigeria.
Okay.
The relationship between students and teachers and everything. American students can be very late to class. And honestly, I would say that at some point, I also started to lower my standards about punctuality and everything, coming to class early, all of that. There's also the way you just even relate with teachers. You know how in Nigeria we greet everyone, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir, every time you see them. But in America, you don't necessarily, you can walk
and
past
not
the teacher and not feel any need to say
Hello.
anything.
I know.
But in the back of my mind, it's
You're like,
always there. I'm
is
like,
this
this
really
is not
right?
proper.
We need to be. But one of my roommates where I stayed, she go for party a lot. I don't judge her. That is who she is. We are different, our exposure is different, our social experience is different. So she goes for I know people that go for parties, and they have a lot of fun. I just want us to talk I want us to talk about that partying. How do you overcome prayer when you see other people going for party, and maybe you are going for a fellowship? People tend to abuse people that have this triangle life, like from school to church, from church home. Well,
Yes.
it's good to go from school, church, and your house, but at the same time, you still need to expose yourself.
Yes.
When there are impactful seminars, conferences
Definitely.
that you can go up, that that, oh, these things will help you positively, they are going to expose you positively. I think it is important for you to also go into that
Yeah.
route. So I just want to talk about the party. How do you overcome that prayer of, oh, I don't want to go, for parties,
Yeah.
so how do you think one can navigate, one can
Yes.
navigate that?
Disclaimer, I wouldn't say I felt so much pressure about not going to parties.
Okay.
And I think a big part of that was my social circle.
Yeah.
So I tend to be a very stay home person, a homebody.
Yeah.
My first 2 years here, I didn't actually have a lot of friends. Honestly, went to class. I had that triangle like you described.
Okay.
Went to classes, came back in the evenings, and just stayed at home. And then weekends, go to choir practice, and go to church on Sunday. And then every once in a while, I would go to uh, a Christian fellowship here on
Okay.
campus and everything. And then COVID hit, and then that moved online. So I really didn't even have to like go outside of my dorm room after coming back from classes. So I think there was that. So for the most part, when there were parties, I didn't know. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But then there's also another part of when the part where I felt pressure maybe sometimes was explaining myself to people when I got invited to those parties on the rare occasions that I did, and explaining why I'm not interested in just going to a party just to chill. Like where there's nothing meaningful happening, like someone just throwing a party, or when people will be like, oh, maybe after class, and just walking out of class with a few classmates and everything, acquaintances, and they're like, we should all hang out downtown maybe this weekend and everything. But I know that their hangout is not, let's go and study the Bible under a tree. No, their hangout is, let's go bar hopping downtown. That's what they're talking about. Or let's go explore this restaurant and everything. And just having to say, oh no, I have something else to do. And they're like, what do you have to do? I'm going to choir practice. That's what I have to do. So there
Oh my
was
God.
a little pressure there. But I
Okay.
think by the time I came into my third and fourth year,
Okay.
I had more friends now from the Christian fellowship I
You
was
attended.
attending. Yes, that I attended here and everything. And it was no longer such a weird thing, because
Okay.
these were Christian friends who shared the same values, who understood like that this party life in it.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, many of my friends, they know themselves. Their first and second year, they actually lived that party life.
Oh.
So a couple of them, like, they have the stories to tell me, and they laugh about it. We laugh about it, and you're like, see, you didn't miss much. You really didn't miss much. All those days of going to parties and ending up in like the most bizarre situations, you didn't miss much. So I think just handling that pressure is very much dependent on surrounding yourself with people with the same values as you have.
Yeah, I think
So
so
when
too.
there are those temptations, there are those invites and everything, you have another friend, another two friends with you, with whom you can say, oh no, we are not going. So you don't feel like the only odd one out anymore. And then really just evaluating like the value that
Yeah.
these parties or whatever will add to your life,
Mm-hmm.
and realizing that at the end of the day, these things won't matter.
Of course.
You have some wild fun, but think about the hangovers you have from all the
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. Think about the things you'll be exposing yourself to. Think
Mm-hmm.
about even the dangers you could possibly be exposing yourself to. I've
Mm-hmm.
heard wild stories of these my friends going off campus to some party. They'll just like up in a ride with someone, go there, and then the person who brought them maybe leaves or something, and then they are stuck in some weird place off campus, and then the cops get called.
Wow.
Wild things, and all the dangers you could be exposing yourself to. So I think just prioritizing what exactly you are in college to do,
Yeah.
and realizing, okay, no, I need to face what I came here to do,
Of course.
is very important. And then the associating with the right people is very important.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
really
very,
very.
very.
So, like, I agree with what you said. Surrounding yourself with good people, not even spiritually, academically.
Yes.
There are some that they might not be spiritual, but academically they are sound. You can pray for them. They can watch your life, and you can impart them to.
Yeah.
One of the regrets I had in college was not having a lot of friends like academically that can help me academically. I had some, but I wish I had a lot, and being open to them. So, being open to them about my struggles, about a lot of things. So it's thank God I did not do that. So another thing that I feel people are really pressured to do in college is relationship. My friend, they're having boyfriend. I want to also have boyfriend. Oh, oh, on Valentine's Day. Oh my God. I don't know if you experienced it. While I was in college on Valentine's Day, you see people wearing red. I remember oh God. It is so funny. I remember when I was in part one, I was also wearing red. I was like, oh wow. I was wearing red. I was wearing
Did you have a val when you wore it?
No. I
You
didn't have
just
a
wore
vow.
red.
I
You
just
didn't
when
have
I
a
saw
vow.
other people wearing red
Wow.
now, me too. I said,
Wonderful.
oh, let me feel among. So I said, red. Oh, happy Valentine's, happy Valentine. So I think, that part affected me. Part one, I see people bringing gifts to their boyfriend, bringing gifts to their girlfriend in hostel, watching them and me feeling. At a point, I think I was a bit prayered in part one. I think my part one first semester, I was a bit prayer. When I see people, I say, God, what is happening to me now? Like, like what is happening to me? But I thank God that I was able to trace my step back that no, I think it is good to wait for the right time, and when the right person comes, I just know that, oh no, I don't have to be prayered, because I know that there are a lot of prayer. You see people. I used to be in a room where I know someone that she and her boyfriend talk 24/7. Like she's always on phone. And I'm not exaggerating. She's in the bathroom, she's on her piece. She's in the hostel, she's on her piece. She will put, I don't know if you know this thing they call extra cool in Nigeria then. There was this thing called extra cool in Nigeria, where you can just pay a token and talk for for as long as you want.
All those awoof.
So you can talk. This joy is always on call 24/7. Oh, this is what I am hitting. People are like, hey God, I should also do this kind of thing. When it comes to relationship, and at times people can be prayered, not to do the right thing, not to wanting to rush into a relationship. I'm still going to talk more on that, but I just want to hear what you have to say about that. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's normal for everyone.
Okay.
At every stage of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe not every stage, but even starting from high school
Of
and
course.
then college and everything. And coming from a Christian Nigerian background, there's the additional factor of books before boys.
Of course, books before boys. But the funniest thing about our parents is, okay, books before boys. After school, where's your boy? Oh no.
Now that you've done the books, where's the boy?
So if I have, totally listened to you and do books before boy, How do you expect me to bring a boy home? But please just do the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
And there's a place of having a relationship with God. And the Bible says those that are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. And you
Yes.
just know the right thing to do. And,
Okay.
you say, oh, okay, I think I should be able to, do this.
Yes.
But we are just trying to say that at times African parents want book before boys. And I was just looking at my mom like, books before boys. And after I finish my undergrad, you want me to bring a boy home? Who does that? If I have listened and say book before boy, will I be able to bring someone home? Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yes. So in navigating that pressure, I think, like you said, those who are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. It is important to discern by the help of God what season of life you're in and whether it is the right season for you to get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Because there are many people who get into relationships while they're in college. They do well academically, they graduate with their significant others. It leads to marriage, it doesn't, whatever, like they have successful relationships in college. But there are others who, because God ordains things in ways that we cannot fathom.
Yeah.
His ways are not our ways.
Of
There
course.
are, for others, it's more beneficial for them to wait until after college and everything. So, first of all, discerning by the help of the Holy Spirit whether it is time for you to be in a relationship or not.
Of course.
So, if you now fall into the category of wait, my daughter, wait, my son, it is not yet time for a relationship. It can be, yes, a challenge to navigate, those feelings and everything. Like you said, friendships.
Yeah.
So this is where, instead of sulking about, oh, I want to be in a relationship and everything, channel all those emotions into your other relationships.
Yeah.
Develop the right relationships with platonic friends, with platonic opposite gender friends. Develop the right relationships with your siblings and with your parents and with other people around you. If you can find contentment in your other non-romantic relationships, relationships you have with your mentors, your parents, your friends, your siblings, you'll find that you don't miss that much about the romantic relationship. And here's what I'm talking about. One thing about romantic relationships, I think, is, oh, you want to have a companion, someone you can call your person, you can talk to about other things, or you can talk to your girlfriends about other things.
Course.
You're like, as a girl, you can talk to other girls, you can develop a better relationship with your siblings and be able to talk to them about these things. So really just investing in yourself and realizing that it's a matter of time.
Yeah, of course.
It is a matter of time. See, if you put things in the right perspective and realize, see, once I'm done, I'm going to be free to find someone else, to find someone, then you'll be okay with developing yourself and preparing yourself for that season.
Yeah, I think
So putting things in perspective like that, like, okay, let me build myself to be the right kind of person.
Honest. One of the mistakes that people make in college, you say, I am busy. Be busy. The more you go, the busy. Is it the busy or the busier?
The busier you get.
The busier you are, honestly.
Yeah.
So it is very important. I think I just be like, oh, I wish I had gone for more conferences in college. I wish, I had studied more. There's people that will tell you that they study for hours. I remember for Galatians, I think
Galatians,
is it 5?
9,
is it 6? Yeah, is it 6, 9? Said,
somewhere thereabout.
Said God cannot be mocked. Said whatever a man sow, he will reap. Whatever you sow spiritually, honestly, you will reap it. Invest in spiritual things. It's very good to invest in spiritual things. And honestly, I also want to put this, apart from also investing in spiritual things, it is also very important. You can do other things that will add values to you. Challenge yourself, take leadership position.
Yeah,
it's very important. Okay, tell me, I will also add this first before talking about taking leadership position. It helped me to pray more. I was able to pray for people I was leading them. I pray for them one after the other. It has pushed me to pray more. It has pushed me to do things. It has helped my patience. At times you will go and meet some people you are leading, they will embarrass. I've got a lot of embarrassment, just going to honestly, let me also put this out. It's not only spiritual leadership that one should take. You can also, take other things, like if know you have the capacity to contest, maybe for maybe the president of
Student
your department,
government, all
or
that
being
stuff.
maybe the captain of your class captain, or
All
maybe
these small
maybe the representative of your hostel, any leadership position that you can take. It is also do this, because I have someone then when we were in school, like, hey, why do people take leadership position? They shall want to be a leader. They shall want to be a leader. And I just remember that some few, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, and I was like, oh, thank God I was able to do this. And I think I wish I have pushed myself to do more.
more.
If you tell me some of my regrets in school, I wish I had a lot of friends too, that would challenge me academically, that we, oh, let's go. My God bless my husband. My husband used to challenge me. Let's go for conferences. My husband like conferences. Then in school, tell us, let's not joke with conferences. My husband can spend his last kobo on conferences, book messages. My husband will spend his last kobo. Be like, let's go for these conferences. Let's go for this conference. Sorry, let's go for this. So, like I said, those conferences are good, but also in other parts, politically, you can even, do business. People do business. If you know that it is not going to affect your academics, you can do them. Do business. Other things that also. What do you think about the leadership position I've, talk about?
Yes, certainly. I think from my experience, I mentioned how my first 2 years I was a lot more introverted and just avoided social settings and stayed at home a lot. But by the time I started taking up leadership positions, second year, third year, it forced me to come out of my comfort zone. I'm still an introverted person, but being in positions of leadership forced me to be the person who would make other people feel welcome. So instead of being my natural gravitation is to observe from the corner of the room. But because I'm a leader in this space, when I see someone walk through the door who is looking around and does not know what exactly they're doing, and they want to go stand in one corner of the room, I feel that responsibility as a leader to approach them, to be the one to welcome them in and bring them into the circle of other people and make them feel welcome. So in that way, it's helped me to overcome that part of my personality that just wants to, hide away somewhere, because I have to be the one to pull other people out of their shell. So I have to come out of my shell to pull other people out of their shell.
Yeah.
And it's, helped my communication skills, interpersonal relationship skills.
True. Yeah.
You get to interact with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and everything, and just relate to them. And excuse me.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
And honestly, it even helps you overcome some of your fears about yourself, because one of the reasons why people will shy away from leadership positions and everything is also I don't want people to see my imperfections, my flaws, and everything, because people will judge you for everything you do and all of that. But being in those leadership positions helps you to be vulnerable, and you'll need that in,
of course,
every area of your life. When you get to your place of work and everything, you have to put yourself out there to some degree and be comfortable with the fact that you're not a perfect person. Be comfortable with your imperfections, letting other people see it, and it will help you to be more gracious to other people with their own imperfections too. So there's that. But speaking about leadership is not just about being president or vice president or secretary. Honestly, the leadership position is even just fulfilling roles and needs that you identify around you. So in that student organization you're in, the e-board, the executive board might be filled up, but you can see that they need help with organizing events and all of that. Put
Yeah.
yourself to use, make yourself useful in all those little things, and just gain those experiences. Help them plan events, help them write fundraising letters, things
Yeah.
like that. You don't have to have a title before you
Of
become a
course.
leader,
Yeah. I
because
agree with
it's
that.
less about the title and positions and more about the skills that you gain and the experiences you gain
Yeah.
in doing all those things. So that's that about leadership. Then you also spoke about, just investing in yourself with other things like all these conferences and all of that. And honestly, I also wish I did more. I wish I did more. Don't disqualify yourself from going for things. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Don't disqualify yourself from
Push.
don't disqualify yourself from applying for stuff.
Hmm.
So I know one thing I did a couple of times was really even just disqualifying myself from even applying from stuff. I'm like, I don't think I have what it takes for this stage, right? And I wouldn't apply. And then later, because of maybe necessity or something, I apply for something similar and I get it, and I'm like, maybe I could have gotten the
That
other one
one.
too.
Hmm.
And that works for scholarships, it works for leadership
Yeah.
positions, it works for different things,
I
So
think you
don't
are
count
right.
yourself out. Don't count yourself out before they count you out.
To be for me, one of the ways I build my cooking skill is I help when I was in school, like if okay, if we have a get together, so Olamide, can you help us to cook? And I will do it
Yes.
with gladness. That me cooking from there, that is where I can even say I built my skills and all that. Have anything to say before we wrap up?
Yes, definitely give yourself to God
Mm-hmm.
in the days of your youth. What's that verse from Ecclesiastes? Remember now your creator in the days of your youth,
Yeah.
before your eyes are weary and before
Mm-hmm.
your legs don't want to walk and your
Yeah.
bones and everything, and you say I have no pleasure in them
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So definitely, I think you've said it all. um
Okay.
Investing in your relationship in God,
Mm-hmm.
because there are things you will learn, there are instructions you receive, like
Instruction
you gave, like,
mysteries.
yes, there are certain ways that you will grow as a person. And this time, if we actually talk about it, is a very kind of like sensitive time,
Mm-hmm.
because you're transitioning from, at least in the US, typically you get into college at 17 or 18.
Mm.
And then by the time you're leaving, you're 21 or 22.
Mm.
So this is your transition time into adulthood.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of mistakes that can be
Of
made.
course, a
It's
lot.
a very sensitive time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So allowing yourself to hide in God during that time is very, very important. It's very
Very
crucial.
important.
It's very, very
Decision
crucial.
making. You
The
know the right.
adversary, the devil, is going around
Yeah.
like uh, a roaring lion looking for
Mm-hmm.
whom to devour, and he's really out to destroy destinies at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So allow your destiny to be made by God. Allow God to model you into the man or woman that He wants you to be. Because one thing they also tell us is after college, that's when you get into the real world. So the things you need to survive in the real world, a lot of those things, God equips you with them during your
Yeah.
college
True.
years.
True.
I believe.
Yeah.
Like I said, relating with people, leadership skills, and all of these things we've talked about, developing yourself as an individual. These are things that you want to be equipped with and ready with before you go out into the real world, before you are sheltered with, the four walls of a university and everything. So there's that.
Always be busy. Like we've said the other time, the higher you go, the more the busier you are. You'll be busy. So there's no excuse for you not to take that right step, apply for that scholarship, take that leadership position, do that business, or move closer to God. Voice. Thank you so much for staying to the end to watch this channel. And please subscribe to my channel. You guys will get more content on faith, relationship and marriage, motherhood, career, and lots more. Thank you so